Hey you guys, so I just saw this little clip on Facebook a minute ago, and it made me want to elaborate. It got me to thinking about it because I don't want to get in such a depressed place or such a stagnant place that I lose sight of the world and my purpose and the things I used to be passionate about, the things that I've learned, the things that I had intended on sharing with the world. And, I don't want to let all of that die inside of me. And that can happen. It can happen to you going through the processes of life and going through so many traumas and going through so many letdowns. And you could be a person of great spirit and, inspiration. And one day you just find yourself, if you ever let it keep you down there, you can find yourself just complacent, just tired, burned out, losing all hope, and without the same spirit you once had. So, for me, it's important to stay on that stuff. And so anyway, this dude was talking about, he said, I would rather a person show up in my life and just outright say what they are. Okay. And this was really something to me because I like this shit. I like this kind of honesty, right? Because I've had people like that in my life. And I want to kind of open the perspective on this and change the narrative a bit. At first, you're going to think people like that are assholes. But you have to ask yourself, would I want that? By the end of this video, I'm going to have y'all thinking about it. The difference between would I want that brutal, blunt honesty that's going to sting me for a little bit, but in the long run, it's going to save me a lot of pain and turmoil and trouble and being caught up. And in the long run, it's actually the kindest thing a person could do. They are actually being kind to me with that attitude. Well, it depends on how they say it too, but you get what I'm saying. By the end of this video, you're going to be thinking about that. They are actually showing me a great respect by being that brutally honest and open about who they really are. Okay, the dude was like, yeah. He's like, I want people to just show up in my life and go on and put it on the table. I have no interest in a commitment. I don't like committed relationships. I have no interest in being faithful. I don't like being faithful to one person. Whoever the fuck you are. And that's what he was saying. People need to get comfortable in their own skin. They need to know who they are. There's so many things that really need to kind of be in place before you think you have the right to go out and we didn't think about this shit when we were younger. None of us did. We didn't care. We did what we did. It's human instinct to look for somebody. Let's hook up. Let's chase. Let's get involved. But as you get older and more emotionally mature and emotionally and spiritually mature, you change and you realize a lot of these things. Okay. So anyway, he said this. He was like, yeah, dude, if people would just be who the fuck they really are when they first come into your life, it would save so much pain and so many damn problems. And he's right. It really would. But guess what? It's not a perfect world. Everybody's on different levels of development. We're never going to be able to have that ideal. Not everyone is going to be on that level of emotional integrity and intelligence, comfortable with that, knowing who they are. And not everyone is going to be that self-aware and thinking. That is self-awareness, okay? It requires self-awareness for you, if you get involved with someone, for you to even think, for it to even occur and cross your mind that, well, whatever I tell this new person in my life, whatever I say and do, this is going to affect them later on. It's going to affect how they live, how they operate, their job, their parents, their kids, their fucking life. It is going to spread like wildfire into their life. whatever energy I bring to them, depending on how close I'm going to get to them, however I decide to treat them, and whatever I set them up for in these early days, that is what they are going to expect of me. That is going to set their heart and their emotions on a certain wavelength. So I need to fucking decide who I'm going to be right here and now. Am I going to be the truth? Or am I going to be a fucking poser in their life? And always having to live behind some mask and some lie and some manipulation. And, so that's the thing. People really need to have a strong sense of identity, know who the hell they are, before they even try to get serious with somebody else. Okay? But a lot of the time, that's not what's happening, guys. And especially when we were younger. Of course not. Most of us didn't think twice about this kind of shit. But what's really shocking is when you're 30 and fucking 40 years old, getting into your 40s and still don't know who you are and playing these games and not able to just, this is who I am, this is what I want, this is what I expect. Is that a fit for you, or do we need to kind of, chill? It is what it is. But now, before we clip this video, before we go, I can't even count the times I used to say this. Yes, just be you. Just say who you are. A lot of people don't even realize they have the right to be themselves when they come into your life. They got to be all. Part of that is programming from their childhoods, where they were made to feel like their feelings did not matter. They were not taught to be assertive and encouraged to be assertive and given a safe space to be assertive. A lot of that shit comes from childhood, early childhood, wiring, programming, trauma, neglect, abuse, and early relationships before they got to you, how they were treated. And a lot of people have not worked through that kind of shit, and they feel like, well, in order to get somebody to like me, I have to sit here and figure out who they want me to be. I have to play manipulative games, and I'll put on any mask they want me to put on just to be liked, just to fit in, just so that, part of it is that. And I do feel empathy for that. I've always had a big heart for people like that and wanted to help them move through that trauma, not help them stay in it. Not, oh, I'll accept you just like that. It's okay for you to be that way. No, because that's going to cause fucking problems. That's not helping them grow. And it's going to cause problems for the two of you later on when they stay in that mindset. Big problems. It's going to hurt both of you. So I have a big heart for shit like that. I accept people like that in order to help them work beyond being stuck there. And that mentality, okay? And some people are very attached to that place and very afraid to get out of it. All right, but so here we are. That's one reason why people sometimes hide behind masks. They are afraid. They have low self-esteem, low self-worth, and a lot of it is coming from early childhood programming, things they have not worked through. Early relationships, how they were treated with early relationships in their life, broken trust, things like that. And they have a very low self-worth. They have a very low sense of self-identity, even who they are, and they feel like they have to become whatever, basically sell out. It's almost like selling your soul. They feel like they have to become whatever anybody else wants them to be in order to be loved, accepted, heard, seen, valuable, yada, yada. That all comes in a package of codependency, manipulation, people pleasing. All of it is toxic, okay? But we can get into that later. That is a stuck place to be. And when you see people acting like that, you often feel sorry for them. And, oh, poor thing. And this can cause people all that people pleasing and I'll be anything you want me to be. Instead of looking at it like sweet little them, poor little them, that can cause people to become very angry inside. That's right. People that walk around agreeing with your every breath, they never make a stand on their boundaries and their self-worth and what they want, what they don't want. People who tend to be people pleasers, very toxic, very stuck in that mentality from their childhood where they weren't validated and accepted and made to feel important and heard. They become very secretly resentful of your ass. They'll be telling you yes and smiling and shaking their head, I can sure take care of that, and fucking hating you underneath. It is what it is. I've got a lot of insight into this stuff, y'all. Okay, I've got shit tons of info that I'm tired of sitting on, that I'm tired of storing all of this inside of me. Years and years of experience, information, insight, knowledge in dealing with people like this, getting into the deepest parts of their mind and soul and having to deal with those experiences and navigate life with people like that, family members, friends, partners in the past, just so much learning and shit to pass along. Okay. And no, I'm not a professional. I don't claim to be. I always recommend that people check with a professional, double check. Don't just listen to some person on the internet. We're never going to have all the answers, right? But we can share our insight and perspective and at least give you guys some kind of, oh, ding, ding, ding. I'm in a situation and I remember I heard something about this the other day, that girl online. Oh, I see this now, you know? Okay, well, let me go ahead and research this. Let me go ahead and look deeper. Let me go ahead and contact a professional. Let me go ahead and that is what we want. That's what we're doing. So, all right. So you've got, that's one reason why people act that way. Okay. A lot of it comes from what I described. And we do feel empathy for that. Most of us, yes, we want to help people like that. What we don't want is what they want to force us into most of the time. They want to force us to accept them just like that and therefore enable them to continue living that way at our expense by using our energy, by hurting us, by playing those games with us. Okay? So, that's something that has to change. If you notice that in a person that you are getting to know, that is definitely, make a mental note that is something toxic and it's going to have to be worked on, or the relationship will not be able to progress to a healthy level. All right, now, the second reason that people do shit like this, and this is a big point I wanted to make. The second reason, not only because of their childhood and things they were programmed with and they didn't feel important and they don't feel good enough and they don't know how to speak up and they think they need to jump through hoops and I'll turn myself inside out and I'll turn myself and look like a sheep's ass if that's what you want. I'll do anything for your approval and your validation. And those are the very same fucking people that end up hating your ass 3 weeks later underneath the surface, doing passive aggressive shit because they can't stand you, because they agreed to all of this, because they have it's them, not you. You didn't force them into it. It is their problem. But I'm just telling you what happens. Those are the very same people. So when you see people trying to go overboard, I'll do this and I'll do that, and too fast, too much, too fast. Slow your roll. Okay. The second reason, though, that people do shit like that is for control. People like that who have been programmed since childhood to not feel very comfortable in their own skin, to not feel valuable, to not feel worthy, not important enough, not seen, not heard, not allowed to speak up about what I want, what I need, what my limitations are. I have to just turn myself into, jump through hula hoops to get any kind of validation. I'll have to create chaos or cause problems, or I'll do and be anything you want. And then when I agree to that, I'm going to start acting out because I hate myself for agreeing to be this, and I don't know how to get out of it. Okay, all that comes in one package: emotional immaturity, emotional dysregulation, trauma, programming, acting out, lack of communication skills, wanting to be a certain way but can't express it, therefore acting out. Oh, all that stuff. They also feel a lack of control. in having all those other feelings of low self-worth and no self-esteem and not worthy of this and not worthy of that, and I gotta jump through hoops for everybody to even be noticed, and all that damn programming, or I'm scared I'll be called an asshole and nobody will like me, and oh God, I love to break people out of that shit. Who cares what they think? Do your own thing. Walk alone if that's what you have to do. Let them go on and think what they need to think. Anyway, control is another reason why people do stuff like that. Come into your life like the man on the video earlier was saying. He's like, I wish they would just come in and say, this is who I am. These are what my problems are. This is what I intend to do. I don't intend to do shit. Not like you want it done. This is who I am. This is what I care about. This is what I don't care about. Let's just get that on the table. That's the kind of motherfuckers I like. I respect people like that. And at the end of the day, why so many people are getting wadded up about it, and I'm such an asshole. They're so mean. At the end of the day, they are the kindest, most respectful motherfuckers because they are the truth. They're not dragging you through a bunch of dumb games and bullshit. It's cowardly to sit up and hide and lie and wear a mask and control others. This is one of the main points I want to make before I clip this video. The assholes are actually considering your feelings, and they're actually respecting you and giving you a choice. They are exposing who they really are. The cowardly people, or people who choose to hide and lie, and just because they had a rough childhood and they have all that programming, I'm not making excuses for that shit. I don't think it's right. I'm just saying I understand why they are that way. And it makes us as humans tend to want to have empathy for them and a higher understanding and sometimes more tolerance. And we give them more chances and more time to work on their shit. But I'm not saying it's right. But the people on the flip side of that, that'll just come right out and tell you that is the most respectful thing a person could do. Okay? They are considering your feelings. Whereas the other person is basically putting you in a prison. That's right. That's borderline predator to me. For you not to be honest about who you really are and be under false pretenses. And be having people in your life under false pretenses, webbing them in under false pretenses, masks, lies. I could do a shit ton of videos on that subject alone and how bad that is and how much that hurts. And we can always understand their side of it, sure, but how much it fucking hurts people and deceives them and betrays them when you do something like that. So, another one of the main reasons people don't disclose who they really are is the type of people that like I described, they come from a background like that, and all that can be going on at the same time, not just one or the other. I'm getting tired of the people that want to just narrow and limit everything down to one box. It's that, it's this. No, hell, it's all of it sometimes. It's all of this shit that, oh, poor you, and this happened to you, and you're wired this way, and you're afraid. And at the same time, they grew up and became a person that, because of all that fear and because of all that low self-esteem, wants to control others in shady, secretive, manipulative, forceful ways in which they're not agreeing to, but they don't want anybody to know about it. So they use coercive control. Exactly. So a lot of times when you see someone not admitting and just declaring who they really are up front, comfortable in their skin, even if it's going to hurt you a little bit, they're honest about it. That is a desire to control something because they feel inferior, weak, out of control, helpless, afraid, not worthy, and they have to find a way to get power and control in their world somehow because they don't feel worthy enough to get it any other way. They don't feel confident enough to get it any other way, so they will resort to these types of tactics in relationships and drawing people into their life and their world. I'm just telling y'all why. I've seen it, observed it, experienced it, been through it from all perspectives, gotten into the mind and understood why, all of it from all sides. And so, yeah, when that dude said that today, I wish people would just show up and just bloop, 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 here it is. It really got me to thinking, dude, yes, you're so right. And a lot of the times the reason why people don't is just what I just described to you. They don't feel worthy enough to have preferences and boundary lines and to be honest. And they don't think enough of you. If they don't think enough of themselves and feel worthy enough for themselves, how the fuck you think they're going to feel for you? They can only feel for you on the level that they feel for themselves. So it's pretty low level that they're thinking of you on. You know, I mean, for their level, that is love as they know it. Yeah, and I understand that. I always have. That is love as they know it. That is the only way they know how to interact. It's the only way they know how to interact a lot of times, okay? I understand that intellectually, but it doesn't make it any less hurtful, or it doesn't excuse it. So, but yeah, oftentimes they want to control somebody's ass because they feel completely out of control in their own life. They have no idea how to control themselves. They oftentimes are living in chaos and addiction, and things are just beyond them, and their problems are beyond them, and they have a very hard time not only with impulse control and self-control, but with getting on top of the things in their life and facing things in their life. And so, yeah, oftentimes they will not come clean about who they really are deep inside because they don't feel comfortable. They don't feel good in their own skin. What's unfair to me is they want to make sure you like them and you want them no matter if you do or not. See, here's the scary part. And a lot of times, yeah, we'll chalk it up and they'll chalk it up too. Well, I was just afraid and nervous and I was just, and we'll chalk it up to, oh, you sweet little vulnerable thing. You're just a shy boy and you're just pretty boy and it's okay. And no, we don't do that as adults. We don't do that, especially at 30 and 40 fucking years old. By then, you know. Okay. Now, sometimes we're going to go easy on some folks, so we go a little easier on than other folks if we get to know their issues and what they may have and whatnot. But no, okay, for someone to deceive you and have the entitlement, okay, now here's where we will get into different types of narcissism, pathological narcissism, very high level toxic pathological narcissism, and then healthy narcissism. It's very important to know the difference. We're all narcissists, so get it down pat. But it's all on a spectrum in different levels. We all have different levels of narcissism. Most of us, it's our healthy narcissism, motivation, keeping ourselves going, being able to set strong boundaries because we care about ourselves. That's good, healthy narcissism, okay? Confident about ourselves. That's good. But when the shit gets higher and higher because of lack, because we don't have any self-esteem, because we have let so much get in our head and beat us down, and we are lacking, we can't be assertive, we can't be confident, we can't be all the things we want to be. High-level pathological narcissism takes over as a defense mechanism, as a survival. All narcissism is just survival. It's keeping us emotionally and physically surviving. That's what it is there for. But when it goes pathological is when it starts abusing people and stepping on others and breaking boundaries, and it goes from there, okay? And so, then you've got your different types of pathological narcissism. Most people just know one kind, and they get it wrong. Most people have no clue the deeper levels of narcissism and haven't even studied it or observed it or had a long-term experience with it with several different people and different types of personalities. Most people just look at somebody on the internet, some chick taking a selfie, having a great day, having a great lunch. I got a new bag, and oh, she's a selfish bitch, that's a narcissist. And they don't even have a fucking clue what they're talking about. But yet that same chick could probably leave camera and go next door, spend the day scrubbing her elderly neighbor's fucking floor and baking muffins. You don't know. That's just what makes me sick about people, okay? Fucking study. Get a grip. It's not what people think. And then the real narcissist is somewhere getting away with it, with the crowd cheering them on. Oh, they're so nice and so sweet, and they just can't help it. Don't you talk bad about them. Meanwhile, their ass is mopping the fucking floor, being manipulative and weaving webs and having people, all wrapped up in some shit and secretly hating everybody and passive aggressive but acting in a fake type of humility. I'm just so humble and I'm just so sweet. I don't have nothing and I'm so... Well, having something nice in this goddamn world isn't what makes you good and evil. Give me a break. And see, I can see through all that shit. That is why people don't like me. That is why a lot of people run from me. I can see through all of it. And I will fucking call it out. I see all the twists and traps and the fucking bullshit and the layers and levels and the masks and fucking smoke and mirrors and the bullshit people play. So, but again, crossing that line, okay, that is one type of narcissist I said people recognize, and that's what they think it's all about. But there's your covert narcissist. Most people don't know about the hidden, the narcissist that failed at being a narcissist, basically. The type of narcissist that isn't comfortable enough to even be in their healthy narcissism, which is necessary, really necessary to be healthy and to get along in the world. And it's the type of narcissist that hides everything. They're just not comfortable in their own skin. They don't want people to know who they really are. And they will play any mask you need them to be at any time. And it's real difficult with their personality. Then there's malignant narcissists. There's community narcissists. There's different types. The covert narcissist, listen, if you think you can go into people's lives and you can cross that line where you don't give them a choice about who they're getting involved with, think about that, okay? They're the type of people that, yes, they'll go into people's lives playing a character, saying anything they want to hear, playing this role of, I'm exactly what you're looking for. I'm into all that stuff. That is my life dream. Wow. Do you know how goddamn devastating that is to find out that you've been mocked like that? And that later on down the road, you find out that they're not connected to shit. They could care less. Okay. That is control. So for all these folks sitting up out here, I wanted to correct them real quick. All the people that don't know shit and all talking about always turning the table over on, oh, their girlfriends are just so controlling. They don't want them to go anywhere and they don't want them to talk to anybody. And they're just such controlling bitches. And let's flip this shit all around, okay? What's motherfucking controlling is what y'all need to start looking for. Okay? It's not the bitches and the dudes that are speaking up and saying, hey, this isn't fucking right. I got some shit to say. And no, you're not going to treat me that way. If that's what you wanted to sign up for, then maybe you should have been who you were from day one instead of pulling a fucking bait and switch. So just like the dude on Facebook, I post a video for y'all on my page. This man was talking about it this morning, how he wished people would just come in and put it on the line. This is who I am. This is what I do. This is what I will not do. This is what I don't give a fuck about. I'm going to cheat. I'm going to do this. I'm going to gamble. I'm going to fuck you over. I'm going to fucking blah, blah, blah. So maybe you should adjust how much you're going to get involved with me. I know motherfuckers that are that honest, and I love the shit out of them. I respect the shit out of them. And that's what I expect when I meet somebody new. I expect them to talk to me with that level of fucking honesty. It's a thing or it's not a thing. I mean, I never expect them to just be like, I need to pretend to be this and pretend to be that, and I need to say this, this, and this. And I told you the many reasons they do it. It's not just one reason. It's not just, oh, poor childhood and they didn't feel like, and it's not just, oh, they're a dick, they're a psycho, they just want to control you. It's all of it. Because the last part is a result of the first part. See, the childhood patterns, the programming, the trauma, the inferiority that didn't feel good enough, and then it leads to a person being narcissistic, controlling, passive-aggressive, manipulative, the need to dominate something, but they don't want anyone else to know it. They don't even want you to get the chance to be a willing victim or a willing participant. They bypass all that. They don't give you a choice, okay? Once they decide they want you, you're going whether you want them or not. It's craziness. It's a control thing. They want someone to control because they felt so little control in their childhood, and they felt so little control in their life that they had to start going overboard in different directions to feel powerful, whether it was with drugs or dominating their relationship partners or cheating or I have secrets that nobody knows about. I'm in control. I'm not really what they think I am. That's all a game to some people for power and control. And so many motherfuckers sitting back, they don't even fucking know it's happening right before their eyes, and they don't even know it. Like, they can't even pick up on this. So it's like, wow. But you guys, I'm going to clip this video. The dude just inspired me to talk about some of this stuff, and that's what it is. I need to keep sharing because this is what I was doing years ago. And y'all know I was always passionate about talking about relationship dynamics, and ultimate goal is for us to all get along better, for us to all find more peace, and for those of us stuck in mental traps and unfair shit, manipulation and coercive control, being unfairly judged while we're the ones being taken advantage of or in a bad situation. That's got to come to a stop. So y'all know I love to help with stuff like that, spreading awareness and whatnot. And so another reason why people would come into your life, the dude was like, why are they going to lie? Why create a whole story about who you are and a lie and all that? Just be you. You don't stand a chance of honesty with somebody who doesn't like themselves, who is scared to death to be themselves, and they have hard time finding people to be patient with them and try to help them through that. Try to teach them a better way, and that it is safe and that it is okay. Depending on how many years they were like that, that can be like working with a scalded cat. It's hurtful and damaging, and it's not easy. Okay? But people like that deserve love too. I never said they didn't. I'm just saying what happens. And a lot of times, the reason why they don't tell you who they really are is because they want control of you. They don't want you to have a choice. And they feel like if you knew up front, well, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. This is my real personality. I don't really give a flip shit about that, that, and that. If you knew up front, you might pull back on the amount of energy and time you're going to give to them, which is fair. You have a life too. You have the right to know. But see, they want the whole motherfucking pie. Control. They want all of your energy, and they want it all the time. They don't want any chance that you're going to do something for yourself, or you're going to be like, hey, which you don't make a shit to me anyway. I'm going to have boundaries regardless. I don't give a fuck if you're a Bozo the Clown, or you are the President of the United States, or you're made out of fucking gold and diamonds. I don't give a fuck. If you just make me melt, I'm just so in love. I don't care. I'm still me too. I am still important. I still have an identity. I have boundaries and things to do and things I'm not willing to do. That's just being a healthy person, okay? And so, yeah, just a little insight into why people lie sometimes, why they're not comfortable telling you, this is who I am, this is where I'm going, because they want control. They're scared. It's all the things that I mentioned, and they use coercive control to reel you in and keep you. Whereas you might have been on the fence, like, yeah, I really like this person, but oh, well, now that I know that our values aren't the same and that they prefer, to do this and this, that would really hurt me. So I think I'm going to be very careful how close I allow myself to get to them. We have the right to protect ourselves that way by being given the knowledge and not lied to and reeled into a false situation. But oftentimes we are not given those rights. And basically that's predator behavior to me. That's like being put in a prison, an emotional prison, and that we signed up under false pretenses, that people sign up under, and then they get down the road a little and they realize, who the fuck are you? What is this behavior? That's not what the fuck I wanted. And then the whole world is calling them, you're just an angry bitch. You're just a controlling bitch. Why do you want that? Or dude, if it happened to the dude, why are you always trying to get them to change? And why are you always trying to get them to act a certain way? And get a grip. Because some of y'all motherfuckers have no motherfucking clue what these people are really like. And that's exactly what happens. It's because they came into the life of an innocent human being and portrayed a false persona. And the person wasn't given any rights, any knowledge about this. It was just, this new behavior was just sprung on them. It's like one person was not being totally authentic and fair in the get to know you process. One person was fibbing and lying and twisting and turning and putting on false layers and exaggerations, and how the fuck they thought they were going to get away with that. I don't know how they think they're going to get away with it. Why people do shit, but they do. And a lot of it is because they want control. They want control of your mind. They want you, and they want to make sure you don't have a chance to get away, that you don't see anything that scares you off. They want control of how you see them. Oftentimes, really damaged people are like that. They don't want you to see the truth, the reality. And boy, if you're a person that can see it, oh Lord, they get pissed off about it. But they want you to see the fantasy version of them, the false ego they have created. And they want to make sure that they have full control of your mind, how you think about them and how you see them. It's all about control. And they will use coercion, okay? Look it up and study it. Coercive control is a form of control where you don't even realize it's happening to you. You're being coerced and made to feel guilty. And don't you love me? And if you did, not doing this and that. And well, you said, there's all types of different forms of coercive control. And it is a fucking control tactic to keep your ass under control and from seeing reality and getting what's right for you and standing your ground. Okay, so keep an eye out for that shit. That's why a lot of times it's not that people are bitches, and it's not that the dudes standing up for themselves are assholes. A lot of times it's that we are being motherfucking manipulated and controlled. It's not that we are trying to control shit. It's that we are trying to have our fucking personal rights from being taken from us by a controlling narcissist in the background. Yes. And it's all that coercive control. So, yeah, it's very important for you to just be like, it doesn't make you a bitch at all. You know. Or you just go, I don't participate in that. I can always hear it in people's tones, though, if it's fake bullshit. Self-pity, guilt trips. I just shut that shit down. But anyway, all right, y'all. I'll see y'all in the next one.